roupa, fez no cabelo. Ai!
Capricha do chaveco.
Oi, Alex, tudo bem?
Oi, tudo bem?
Aqui eu venho lá, que absurdo, não sou nenhuma bandida, só quero demonstrar o meu amor e carinho, trabalhar na mente dele, entendeu? Com os olhos vendados, mas...
Bota o painel aqui no principal aqui. Vamos lá, tá indo bem, Alex, tá indo bem. Comportamento, rede social.
Tá indo bem, Aleph, tá indo bem, Aleph.
Terceiro andar. Vai a Catiana.
Okay.
On
Yeah, maybe.
YouTube, normally what do you usually watch on YouTube or on Netflix, or what do you normally go for?
So I don't usually. I mean, I like this lectures or like on TED Talks. I look for subjects about finances. I look for subjects about entrepreneur and stuff like that. I also like things about human development and psychology and this type of things. I've been watching on Netflix now with Hannah. I'm not very much into series, but I've been watching The Good Doctor with Hannah. We are the second season.
I see. If you like this kind of things, I believe you will enjoy very much one documentary that I watched yesterday on Netflix. It's on Netflix, but it's from National Geographic. The name is The Story of God. One of my friends, not my friend because he don't answer me anymore, Morgan Freeman.
Ah, right.
I don't know what happened.
I have a picture. I saw it. Story of God. A story.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was more religious, but it's really not, because Morgan Freeman, he travels all the world interviewing different religions.
I saw
some-
him in the airport, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him once. I'm not sure. I don't think I took a picture because I was working, so I couldn't. I was actually interviewing for a security interview. I interviewed him.
Oh, serious, Josie, you zero your life.
Yeah, I did.
But you were not able to take a picture?
No, we were not in this moment, because it was a very, I mean, when you talk about security comes first, so you cannot take picture or anything. If I was doing something else.
What about his voice, Josie? Is that this is his real voice?
It is. But he was really like, you know, it was not in a mood of talking or anything. It was like, how do I say, largadão, like loose.
Yeah, loose, I think.
Like yeah, he was loose. Like he was just answering what I was asking, and it was very closed questions. They are usually very close. Yes, no, sure, something like that. So didn't get a chance to talk to him. It was an interview in the bridge already, just before he boarded. So if it is an interview before checking, then you have time to talk and so many things. But just before boarding, it has to be really quick. So we didn't have time to do nothing.
Working for the airport was which celebrities do you consider to be the ones you like the most of seeing face to face?
Silvio Santos, definitely.
You saw the man, my God.
And he is really nice. He's really nice. Silvio Santos, yeah, it was someone. And yeah, but he was the best I can remember at the moment. You know, Michel Teló is really nice. He and his wife as well. They are nice people. Kevin Costner, that was Pelé. Pelé is nice. I have a picture with Pelé on my Facebook.
That you know, I was very close of working in the airport. I was invited once by one of these teachers that started working there. So come again?
Anytime you want, you can.
Yeah,
no. Yes, just to speak English is the required thing. So if you speak English, there will definitely be a place for anyone there.
Yeah, I worked there as a teacher. I had a few contact with some people, but I prefer not to get involved in this because I wouldn't be able to not go for trying talking to the guy.
You would, because you get into the job and the service you have to deliver actually that you don't even sometimes. You know what I did once, and this was me. I was not into aviation. I was working in a store. You know Jorge Benjor?
I do.
I didn't, and I asked him his name, and I was.
But maybe you don't know him by the name, but his song definitely you would know.
Yeah,
maybe
no,
not first.
I didn't know his face. I was face to face to him. I used to work in a shop, in a store. I used to sell bags there, and he was interested about one leather bag we had. And I was talking to him, trying to sell him a bag, and didn't know who he was. He seemed to be very interested about buying, but he was not going to buy at that moment. It was a quite expensive bag. And I was like, oh, okay, what's your name? Just to call him by his name, because I didn't know who he was. And the girl who was actually with him was like, to my face, looking at me like, huh? And then he said, I'm George. And I said, okay, Mr. George, so I'll see you. This is my card, blah, blah, blah. Give me a ring, something like that. We can send to your place, blah, blah, blah. And then when he left, my colleague said, you asked George Benjor his name? And I was like, was it George Benjor? I didn't know.
Was he pissed because of that? Because some celebrities, they think it's an obligation for you.
He was not. The girl with him, it was more than he was, actually. He didn't even, he didn't care.
She felt like you asked who was Silvio Santos.
Exactly, yeah. I didn't know him. I didn't know. So there are many famous celebrities, nice ones. Silvio Santos was the best. Pelé was quite nice as well.
I am sorry. I am seeing here your picture with Michel Teló and his wife inside. It's inside the plane here, right?
This one is inside the plane, and this is very recent. There is a picture with, I think I have a picture with Silvio Santos there. It's very old. You know, the cameras of the mobiles, you can't even see no more. The technology was bad.
It is in Instagram?
No, it's on Facebook.
Okay. So, if one day one person asks me in the future, Katiana, do you know Silvio Santos? No, I don't know, but I know who does.
And you know what is it's really nice about him? When I met him, I was at the not departure, the arriving area in the airport, and there is this carousel to pick up your bags, right? And he always travels on business class. He doesn't travel on first class. He always travels on business class, and he pays for his wife and children economy class. He doesn't pay business for Sorry?
Yeah, he should have his own plane.
He could if he wanted, yeah, sure. But then what happened once? So when he departed, the flights were usually at night, and I worked at the arrival in the morning. When he departed, the manager saw him in the line for the business class, and the manager was going there too. Oh, Mr. Silvio Santos, you can go on first class. I'm going to give you an upgrade and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, if I wanted first class, I would buy. And everybody was like, "Wow!" And this was
but
really...
did you go first class too?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't go first class?
No, he didn't want to. He didn't want to. He said, he told to the manager if he wanted, he could pay. He didn't want to go. I mean, and plus, he said to the manager, there are lots of people there, you see, more than 100 people in the line for the economy. I bet they would love to go on first, but for me, you don't need to give anything.
Man, hold on. So he always travel on coach? He never travels on business class?
No, he travels on business, but the manager wanted to give him an upgrade for first.
Oh, because, sorry, I don't know very much about the planes. You have business first.
Yeah, it's 3 different classes. Usually in business class, you have something like 6, 8 seats, something like that. 4 seats, depends on the aircraft.
Okay.
And then on business class, you usually have about 20, maximum 30 seats. And economy class, you have about 140 people there. And he usually goes on business. And the price from business to first, it's more than double. So, and then the manager, just to be nice to him, or actually to be went there to offer him an upgrade, and he denied. Said, no, if I wanted, I would have bought.
Man, every time I feel like I like this guy even more.
Yes. And then when I met him, he was returning. I usually worked on the arrival. So in the arrival area, you have the carousel to get the bags. And usually people traveling on business or first class are very rude, and they want their bag first. And there are rules for that. Usually when you travel on first class, you have so many priorities. And one of them is your bag comes first. And he was on business class, and it was taking really long. And I went there to apologize to all the passengers, not only him, but I wanted him to be the last so I could talk a little bit more with him. I stopped to talk to him. I was apologizing for the late of the bag. It was taking too long and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, don't worry. If it doesn't arrive, you will deliver at home, right? And I was like, yes, sure. While the other ones were like complaining and saying, these are my rights, my bag should never miss because blah, blah, blah. He was like, it's okay. If it doesn't arrive, you deliver at home. And I was like, man, I love you so much.
Yeah, I think if I met him, for me was like seeing, I don't know, Mickey Mouse in person.
Yes, yes, and he's really nice. And the very first time, that was the second time I saw him, actually. The very first time I saw him, I saw him just passing by. And I couldn't recognize him because he's really different, like his hair and all this. But I could recognize his voice. And it was like, sai pra lá, sai pra lá. And I could recognize his voice.
Wow, how bizarre! How bizarre! I saw him. I remember a long time ago. They used to have these parades in São Paulo, in Guarulhos. No, Guarulhos, no, São Paulo, in Tiradentes Avenue. And I remember I go there as a child. It was like these parades of Thanksgiving, but it was in Brazil by the
Cada
time.
dia é uma alegria, cada dia é uma emoção diferente. São crianças, são donas de casa, são chefes de família que saíram e que vieram passar este feriado conosco, vieram comemorar conosco o Dia da
Probably
Criança.
the September 7th. It's the civil parade.
I don't know
maybe.
if it was there or if it was Kids Day. I can't remember actually.
Right.
Oh, nice. So you see, I couldn't. That's why I can't work in the airport because I wouldn't be able to. I would forget my job, forget everything, and go there to talk to him. And if my boss says, "Cristiano, you can't," forget it.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you have the freedom to do it. Yeah, you can do it. Most of the times, actually, just like you cannot just forget the time, but most of the time you can interact.
Yeah, my sister-in-law works in the police, the federal police, so she has contact with this kind of people, and she told me that sometimes they want to, do these kind of things.
Yeah, sure. Especially in the federal police, they want to be nice.
Yeah, they should be nice, but
You know, the one I didn't like to meet, it was Luciano Huck. I think maybe he has changed now. This has been a long time ago, and he used to be really selfish and rude and too much, how do you say nariz empinado?
up nose.
Up nose, yeah, too much up nose. But what was fun about him, it was that his babysitter, not his babysitter, but his child's babysitter, it was even more up nose than him.
Whoa!
She was,
of course, she
yeah.
works for Luciano Huck, right?
Yeah, so yeah, she was even more up nose than him. And it was the same situation as Morgan Freeman. I was doing the interviews just before boarding, and she came first. She came first holding his bag or whatever, and I had to see and to check their ID, their passport. And I asked her, "Ma'am, I need to see your passport." "Oh, my passport is with Luciano." And she went in like passing by and said, "Okay, so you have to wait, Luciano." Like I should know who Luciano was, right? And I said, "Oh, okay. So you have to wait for Luciano." And she was really pissed off that I made her to wait. And then when he came, he also didn't want to stop because I knew who he was and blah, blah, blah. But still, I had to do my job. And he was really, I almost took him off the flight.
Serious?
Yeah, we had this power. I was like, I'm not going to allow you to fly if you don't show me your passport. I need to see your passport.
Wow, but this is human being, Josie. People are like, for example, I will start being up nose only because I know one person that knows Silvio Santos. Imagine if I see the man.
Yeah, you're right. This is human being.
Yeah, human being. Wherever you have humans, you have problems.
Yep, that's right.
Wow,
And that's the fun of life, right? Actually.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, I'm just kidding, but I think the fun about life is always discovering new things. That's why I like to be teaching because I always study or take a new topic or see something that's new. I think this is something that I don't know. It's something. It's nice to always be learning. That's why I started studying cinema because by studying cinema, I feel like I'm always seeing something new. I was watching this new movie, The Joker, and I watching the movie. I don't know if you watched this movie, The Joker.
No, not yet.
Nice. Don't watch with your son because this movie is very not for kids. And
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not a movie about superhero, and there's nothing to do with superhero. It's a more psychological movie. And in this movie, you can see how bad human people are. Not that because of the movie, but finish the movie, you say, okay, in my opinion, I don't know if the movie was a comedy or, you have those mixed feelings.
Yeah, no, I saw someone, I think it was a psychologist talking about it, and it's saying exactly what you said. Do not take your child to see the Joker. Uh, it it has to do about his mental ill, right? It's,
Not, not
and how
that.
this actually be true, and how can other people can affect. I mean, one human can affect the other on his mentality or psychology.
There is one movie. There is one movie. It's the same problem that I have with the movie Man Bites Dog. There is a movie called Man Bites Dog. Is a it's Belgian. It's a Belgian. It's like a documentary, but it's not a documentary. It's a movie, but it's Belgian. Called Man Bites Dog. In Português, is Aconteceu Perto da Sua Casa. But this movie, I think, have the same problem of the Joker, because it's a funny movie, it's a comedy. This movie is about one guy that he's a serial killer, and he have people recording his life, showing how is the life of a serial killer. And the movie is very fun, it's very comedy, but some moments you are laughing and you don't know if you should laugh because the guy is killing people. So you feel bad, you say, man, I shouldn't be laughing, this guy is a serial killer, but it's funny.
I don't know if you saw, and I haven't actually. I just heard about the Lucifer.
Lucifer is only comedy. Oh,
Is it?
yeah, it's only comedy.
All right. I thought it was something more.
No, only because of the name and because he's the devil. But if you watch it, it's more comedy.
That's what I was going to say. I heard it's a comedy, and he is very. Uh, his characteristic is like he plays a lot, and he's very sincere. Like,
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. Yeah, true. Yeah, there are these moments, but it's not like Dexter, the guy killing people. It's not Anthony Jeselnik. There is one guy on Netflix that he does stand up on Netflix, and the name is Anthony Jeselnik, and he does dark humor jokes. So when you see the joke, you don't know if you laugh or if you call the police.
okay.
But it's not real, of course. The guy is an actor, right? But I don't know. For people that I like dark humor, so I will put the video here, the YouTube. But this is on Netflix, and I remember when I saw this stand up, I remember laughing a lot. But I feel bad because I say, Kachan, you are laughing of this bad joke.
Yeah, I understand.
You shouldn't be laughing. You should be calling the police. You have a problem. But no, after I see it, it's not just me. It's a common occurrence. So I believe that's why they don't recommend for kids. It's not because it's graphic, because other things are as graphic as the Joker. It's not because nudity. Don't There is no nudity. I think it's only mainly because of the subject in question.
Right.
The fact that he's the villain, but he's the protagonist of the show.
Yeah, he's the villain, but he has really a mental problem, a mental. He's not the villain because he's someone bad, but so his experience has made him to be the villain, right?
That's right. Basically that.
Basically, the way he actually acts, facing the circumstances, right? The circumstances made him to become the villain. It's not an excuse because you have the power to control your emotions, right? but still he has an excuse to be like that.
Yeah, so it's a very complicated. So that's why I don't recommend for kids, and I don't recommend for some adults.
Yeah, maybe my husband cannot watch.
I don't recommend for some for people with I don't know. I just don't recommend for some people.
It doesn't depend on the age, but the mental age, right?
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Yeah, the Joker is on the top.
No, not on the top. I think in my opinion, this documentary that I put here, Man by Dog, is on the top.
Right. So this should be the
Because
last one.
yeah, this should be the Joker. I think is level number 4 or 5.
Okay, Catiano, I really have to go. I have to
Me
do.
too. Me too. I have to have lunch. I didn't have lunch yet. I need to